'Cause you are my light. You're the lamp upon my feet. All the time, my Lord, I need you there. You are my light. I cannot live alone. Let me stay by your guiding love all through my life. Lead me, Lord. Mamaya ikikwento ko sa inyo. Hindi, siguro ngayon na. Ngayon na. Sige, ikwento ko sa inyo. I'll tell you, I'll speak this, I'll say it all in English, just so that everyone can really, truly understand. I was on a stage, about as big as this, known as the ASAP stage. It's a regular Sunday noontime show in Manila. And there I was doing a song called Tanaw Na. But suddenly, in the middle of that performance, I started feeling something I had never felt before. I could see the cheers, I could see the smiles, but there was something going on right here in the middle of my chest. It was severe pain, and a pressing down, like something was pressing down into the middle of my chest. And to make the long story short, I went to the doctor a few days after. I had myself checked, and they said that there was something going on in my heart. There was on the main left artery, known as the widowmaker, I had a block about 95%, somewhere in the middle of that artery. Just a little pinch like this, but that was 95% blocked. So as I had the angiogram, the doctor woke me up and said, "Gary, you need to see this. Your heart is in excellent condition. Everything that you've done before what we're going to do, you need to keep on doing. You've been a diabetic for 39 years, and everything is clean except that left main artery. And Gary, I cannot do a stent on that. I'm gonna have to do a bypass on you." Now, of course, I was sedated. Bypass? Sure. And so they went in, they opened me up, they took my heart out. They stopped my heart for a while. They cut me here and got a bit of an artery also, so that they could do a double bypass on a single artery. And then they put it back, they re-energized my heart, they put it back in and they sealed me up. And then I was okay for 3 weeks. But then something else happened. Now talk about, coming up on a boxing ring and getting hit twice. I started building up what they call pleural effusion, which is fluids on the left side of on my lungs, my left lung. And I remember my doctor saying, "Gary, just to make sure, let's go in for a CT scan." Okay, because I don't understand why this is all happening to you. It does happen to 40% of the patients, but you're complaining about certain things that have nothing to do with what happens with those 40%. So I went in for a CT scan, and my cardiologist was the one who looked at me and gave me the findings of what was going on, the analysis. And then he says, "Gary, what's happening to you? I've heard this before, but what concerns me is not what's happening on the left side of your body, but what's occurring on the right side." So I looked at him, I said, "What's going on with my right?" He goes, "Gary, I'm a cardiologist, and I've had type 1 diabetics like you come to me with their kidneys looking like this. Gary, you do have cancer of the kidney." And this was 2 weeks after the surgery of my heart. So while I was healing, I got that news. But then, through it all, when I could humanly not do anything anymore, I had to turn to a word that also begins with an F, We can use it as an expression for some, but it can also stand for faith. But my faith was turning into fear. And I realized that the fear was allowed to be there so that I could exercise my faith.
Amen.
It's easy to exercise faith.
Amen.
So I did. So the doctors went in and they took 30% of my right kidney out, 4 centimeters by 6 centimeters. That's how big the tumor was. So I stand up here on stage today through that whole ordeal because the doctors simply looked at me and saw my readings in January and then a few weeks ago, and they said, "You're good to go." And I said, "Wait a minute, wait." I said, wait, what do you mean I'm good to go? No, you're good to go. You can go on tour. And so for those who requested for this song, should I become emotional? Please understand that when I speak up on stage, I'm not speaking from a diabetic, a type 1 diabetic of 40 years now, and still surviving. I'm coming also from you've heard the story. So here, if any of you may be going through surgical stuff, maybe not in terms of physical, but maybe in financial or relationships or even studies or at work, this song crosses all boundaries. And it still lives in me today. And I hope that it brings life to some of you, especially those out there.
God is so good!
I love you too. Just what is it in me? Sometimes I just don't know what keeps me in your love. Why you never let me go. And though you're in me now, I fall and hurt you still. My Lord, please show me how to know just how you feel. 'Cause you have forgiven me too many times it seems. The feeling that you might call a worldly Christian after all. And though I love you so, temptation finds its way to me. Teach me to trust in you with all of my heart. To lean not on my own understanding, 'cause I just forget. You